This isn't the kind of video I even expected to make. Usually when I make these videos, it's like this random YouTube channel like Kai and then Riot or freaking Lizzo fat shaming her employees, but never a a child passing away. Like that's not something you expect or even think about. And so what I'm talking about is Lil Tay. Now her real name was Claire, and she has passed away. Now details are not have not been revealed, but her and her older brother have seemingly passed away. Now the video will be less about what I think happened. It'll be more about what a weird era we were back in 2017 and 2016. Now to quickly just bring up her passing. First of all, again, it was a vague post on Instagram. It was very vague. Prior to this, in 2020, it was revealed that there's so much drama. I believe the dad wanted custody of her and the brother, but they couldn't get it. Now, if you don't know who Lil Tay was, really, you just gotta search of like one quick clip, and she was this little girl who was like flexing all her money. And unfortunately, I really think a lot of this was a product of its time. 2017, 2016, that era was really the whole let's bully kids era. I know that sounds weird, but if you look back at a lot of commentary channels, a lot of them got popular off of bullying kids. Ricegum was one of the most popular YouTubers around that era, and all he did was bully kids and on Musically. Leafy's entire personality was this guy's too young or this guy's too old. Isn't that weird? You go back to Leafy's old videos, and I know iDubbbz has said this many times. iDubbbz literally ended Leafy's reputation, but it still is true to this day. All Leafy did was bully someone because they were either too old or too young, and there's always like this random thing. Like, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of conspiracies. To me, I do think it's very suspicious because obviously she was 14 years old. How, what did she pass away from? And then all the drama that was happening between the parents, and then it was confirmed like a while back that obviously Lil Tay was a character, and she was kind of forced by family members to do what she did. And not only that, but it's suspicious that both her and her brother passed away. I There's so much to that story, and the shitty thing now is now some kid passed away, a 14-year-old, an entire life. I don't even think she was in high school. Wait, how old are? I think I was 14 when I went to high school. Yeah, she was about to get to high school. Like, I think when you get to high school, your life starts to change far more. You start becoming an adult, but she was just a kid who passed away. And it's just crazy because back in 2017, it was this whole Lil Tay's cringe, Lil Tay's cringe. Oh my God, guys. And I know I have the power of hindsight. Don't get me wrong. I was some dumb little 16-year-old at the time when the whole Lil Tay video stuff was going viral. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect and I was cringing. But I just wonder, for all the adults who were popular at the time, why was it that bullying kids was just so profitable? Why was it helping make people's careers? Like, and this is the thing I want to talk about. Can we stop making fun of kids for being cringe? Can we stop that? Because I know everyone likes to make fun of kids being cringe, and the good thing is now you see that lesser. Like, definitely by far now on YouTube and Instagram, it's almost kind of universally accepted that hey, kids are gonna be cringe. That's okay. Us as kids, we were cringe. Our parents as kids were cringe. The thing is, when you're a kid, you're just developing your life. You're gonna develop who you eventually become. So of course you're gonna do cringe things. When I was younger, I loved listening to Minecraft music parodies, whether it's like Fallen Kingdom or Minecraft style, like those Captain Sparkle songs. I know for us, a lot of you that are my age or a little younger, a little older, to you guys that were in my generation, y'all see that as, oh, nostalgia is so beautiful. But if you look, if you actually ask an adult, like a 40-year-old guy, like, what do you think? You'll be like, this looks like some little kid shit. Because even I remember when I was younger, I remember some of the older guys that I would go to church with, they'd like look at me playing Minecraft and they'd be like, that's cringing for kids. And it's funny because our generation now does the same. Like, it's almost like this cycle, it's this pattern of what we think is cringe and why we want to shit on kids for. I remember when Fortnite was becoming popular, kids my age, like 17, 16, when Fortnite was getting popular, it was this whole, oh, Fortnite is cringe and only little kids like Fortnite. It's like, motherfucker, people said the same shit about Minecraft. People said the same shit about Roblox. People said the same shit about all these games that we love and play. And the thing is, that's okay because as kids, we're going to be cringe. But to the adults out there, or not just adults, but young teenagers, because teenagers, I feel like when you get to that teenage age, you're very hypercritical of everyone else. I personally felt that. But it's like, we gotta stop this whole kids are cringe, kids are this. Yes, of course they're cringe, but why do we gotta take away their love for all of this? As long as it doesn't get to a bad spot, we're good. When I was younger, I was so addicted to Barcelona. I hated Cristiano Ronaldo. I remember I was always like, Messi's the GOAT, Messi's this, and Ronaldo sucks. Now that I'm older, I'm like, man, I wish I could have just enjoyed Ronaldo's prime. But that's part of your childhood. You're just gonna do cringe things. You're gonna do cringe thing. You're just gonna do cringe stuff. Whatever. If I had all the footage I've had from my previous YouTube channels, there would be loads of cringe. There's skits. There was things I did. I did this little Matrix fan film that was like 40 minutes short, and that movie was cringe. Everything I did was cringe. But that's our childhood. That's our childhood. And I find it crazy that during that time on YouTube, you could honestly even argue that that was like that's when commentary channels really popped off. I think it really began in 2016 and really went further on. And now commentary channels are like a normal thing. Uh, and obviously my channel technically is a commentary channel. So obviously I'm part of that new wave and new generation of YouTube that now does this. But it's just weird that we accepted bullying kids, because that was the whole thing with Lil Tay. Lil Tay, was this cringy kid, who everyone was like, oh, she's flexing stuff, she's annoying. And I feel like people at the time should have known better. Like, even let's say this was an annoying little girl. At the end of the day, she's a little girl. Like, I think she was like 9 years old when the video went viral. It's like, of course, kids are gonna be like that. When I used to go to church, I remember there was this chubby fat kid who was like 12, and he was like shitting on all the other kids because they didn't have Fortnite skins, and that it showed that they're broke noobs. And I'm like, bro, you don't even make money. When kids talk about money, it's the most annoying shit, because motherfucker, you're not even paying for shit. You don't have a job. That's not your money. That's your parents' money. Like, be grateful for that shit, bro. It's like, kids are gonna be cringe. Kids are gonna be kids. But the thing is, you gotta teach them about life. You gotta be a good role model. Be what I think someone should really think right now in their mind is, be the role model or be the adult you wish you had when you were a kid. You always gotta think about it that perspective. I think that's important. But at the same time, you gotta let these kids be cringe, because it is. I guarantee you, a lot of y'all who are into video games, I guarantee you, a lot of you guys had cringy gamer tags, cringy ones. When I was 14, I had an old PSN that was literally called Jewish Nazi 69. That's cringe. That's cringe, right? But that was the thing that I had because I thought it was funny. I thought it was silly. I know it's cancelable now. And also, can we stop canceling people? I know this is going on a tangent, but like, stop canceling kids for dumb shit, right? Because I see sometimes there'll be like someone, like kids, and this is the unfortunate truth. Kids are going to learn slurs, and they're going to say because they think it's funny. Do not cancel that kid for finding a slur funny. He's in his dumb, immature phase. I was in my dumb, immature phase, and I was lucky enough I didn't put clips of me saying the F slur. That was like the most common slur I used. And I think we gotta hit the back pedal, because these are still kids. They're learning about life. They're learning, and they're barely even, same thing with teenagers. You always got to cut them slack, because at the end of the day, they're just kids. They have not gone out to the real world. Some of these kids are probably sheltered, because again, it's not like everywhere you go, it's a diverse area. There's some areas where it's like predominantly white people or predominantly black people. And it's like, sometimes you got to wait and let the kids just go out there to the real world. Teach them good. Be a good role model. Let them go through their cringe, because the thing is, all of us were cringe. That's why I don't cringe at kids doing dumb things. Like when the Fortnite dances and all that, when people were shitting on Fortnite, it's why I never cared. Because at the end of the day, it's like, who cares? We were cringe. They were cringe. We all were cringe. Guarantee you, go talk to your old, like 90-year-old grandpa. Guarantee you that motherfucker was cringe. We're all cringe. That's okay. Because this is our youth. This is our beginning of a story. And I think with Lil Tay, it's unfortunate that we let her go viral. And I genuinely think that her going viral maybe led through her going through some stress, because we don't know how she passed. And I'm not going to make assumptions. That's why I didn't want to make this video talking about what happened, because we don't know, you know? Uh, but again, it's just this whole sad chapter on how we are, as a YouTube community, we just bully this kid. You know, everyone was like mocking her, and it's sad because it's like, even if it was real, and obviously it wasn't real, who cares? It's a 9-year old who could have been influenced by the internet, because that's something that we also need to talk about. Kids are getting more into the internet. Like when I was younger, it was, oh, you use a family computer, and even then, social media wasn't as popular. Like people had Facebook accounts, but their Instagram and YouTube, like even YouTube, really wasn't that popular. Like YouTube was popular, but it wasn't like what it is now, where everyone wants to be a YouTuber. There's all kinds of people. If you want to see a documentary, if you want to see a movie, you want to see whatever, it's all on YouTube now. YouTube is the most diverse social media app out there. Or we didn't really, Twitter really wasn't as big as it is now, where literally a tweet from 10 years ago can end your life, or end your career. Life was too far, but end your career, you know? And, you know, you just gotta understand that kids are gonna go through it much harder when it comes to the internet aspect. There's more bullying. A lot of kids want to do internet stuff, but sometimes you'll get like dickheads who will just bully the fuck out of you just because you're some kid. And kids are innocent, and that it's almost like, you know, you bully this kid because it's, what are they going to do, cry for their mom? They've never witnessed getting bullied, so it's going to be hard for them to process all that. And I think it's unfortunate what happened with Lil Tay. And honestly, it just breaks my heart that some kid lost her life early. He's 14. That's so many years of life she could have had. You know, and I feel this way with almost anyone that dies young. Like Juice WRLD, I think he passed when he was 21. Tupac, I believe, was 23. Biggie might have been 24, somewhere around that age. It's like, I just can't fathom people passing so young, because it's like, you got this whole life. Like maybe there's somewhere out there in the multiverse where you're meant to get married, have kids, be a good human in society. Maybe you're meant to do online stuff, and you were gonna make, you were gonna be a good, YouTuber or Twitch streamer or whatever, and you would have, impressed millions. Or you could have been a Gideon who everyone loves on his streams, or Balin, or whatever great content creator. You could have inspired many people, but instead your life was cut short. And again, this video isn't me saying that the bullying that she received causes. Obviously, I don't know that. I don't know her personally, nor do I know her family personally. But I just think it's still upsetting how it all happened, because her fame came off people thinking she was cringe. But people gotta realize kids are cringe, you know? And maybe giving her attention wasn't the best idea, because I think it led to this whole issue becoming public. Like, imagine, the thing is I'm thinking about right now is Lil Tay at 9 years old. When you're 9, you're supposed to be playing with toys, just watching SpongeBob or whatever is on TV. And you're supposed to just have fun, not think about life. But instead, this girl had to be a public celebrity, pretend to be someone she's not, and get harassed for being someone she's not. Because I think it's different when someone bullies you for being you, but when someone bullies you for not being you, you got to kind of play along with the gimmick. That just sucks. And so for her, years, because she went through her preteen phase, during that phase, her life was just, I'm famous and people hate me because I'm famous. Like, it's one thing for an adult, because I think when you look at the big YouTubers who are adults, they can handle it because they're adults. They're grown up. They gotta focus on bills. They gotta focus on paying for stuff for their family. When you're a kid, you barely know shit. Like, you don't know shit. And now all of a sudden you got a lot of people that just hate you. And when you read those comments, that's the first time, because I'm assuming Lil Tay wasn't bullied in school prior to this. But now all of a sudden, the first time you feel any turmoil, it's not just some like little fat kid bullying you, like that kid I just mentioned earlier, or some like bullies at school. It's the whole internet with grown-ass adults making videos about how you're a piece of shit. Like, just imagine what that does to the mindset of a 9-year-old or a 14-year-old. Like, imagine like all of that. I can't fathom that. I don't know how that is. When I was in my Vine days, I was like 14, I think 14, 15. And in my Vine days, when I would get like a mean comment, it would frustrate me. Just imagine that, but to where adults are making videos on you, people are calling you cringe, people are calling you horrible. Imagine all of that on a preteen. Like, that's just crazy. The things she went through are harder than the things some adults face. And it's all because people care way too much about kids being cringe. Who the fuck gives a fuck, okay? A kid's gonna be cringe. I know I've said that too many times in this video, but they're just gonna be cringe. And that's okay, because that's life. You're gonna develop, you're gonna grow up, eventually you're gonna phase out specific parts of your life, and then you're gonna become a human being in society. You know? You all were cringe. We were cringe. At the end of the day, the only difference is we didn't do it on social media. Or, well, I now do it because now y'all see my cringe. But it's just like, it's just so, I don't know. I think it's so silly how everything transpired. And now some kid lost her life, you know? And that's like honestly one of the most upsetting things. Just seeing a kid having to go through all that. And then not only that, but after her parents' divorce went public, fighting for custody on her, on top of her getting bullied online. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I don't know what that does to a kid mentally. Like, I can't imagine how bad that feels. You know, because this is your youth. This is the moment where your only worry should be about the girl or the guy you're going to ask out at school. Your only worry should be about how long is recess. Your only worry should be about if you're going to be on the good basketball team. Like, that should be your only worry. You know, instead, this girl had to be worried about people harassing her, wondering if someone in public is going to shit on her. I wondered if she even went to school normally after this, like when she got viral. Because if she did, she probably would have gotten bullied. People probably would have hated her because the narrative that's going out is no. By the way, when those videos went viral, people assumed they were real. I remember that was the idea. People assumed they were real when it came out to be fake. It took a while. I think it was like over a year when people found out they were fake. And I mean, just imagine like the kids who knew her and her age probably just saw her as the annoying girl and didn't want to be your friends. That's another thing. Your youth is about making friends, making people in your life. Like, if you guys have watched my vlogs, all those guys right there I've known since before high school. One of them I've known since pre-K. Two of them I've known since like second grade. One of them in seventh grade, the other in eighth grade. Like, these oh wait, no, one of them I knew in high school. That was it. But the rest of them, I met them in like elementary or junior high. And it's like, this girl, before she even got to like freaking middle school, all of a sudden now everyone around her thinks she's this obnoxious, annoying kid. And it's all because you fucking idiots on the internet took this shit too serious. Who cares, man? Who cares? Who cares if, what was that kid, like, you can wear my sweatshirt guy? I forgot what the name of it. I think his name was like Jacob something. Who cares if that guy made a cringe music video? He's a fucking kid. Of course it's cringe. You know, who cares about the Pokemon Go everyday song from 2016? It was all cringe. It's all cringe. And you guys, we need to stop prioritizing that shit. Because now this girl had her entire life ruined by it. And it wasn't even her choice to make this fucking video. And even if it was, it's a 9-year-old kid. Of course she's going to want to flex. Especially when on the internet, all you see is people being like, oh, I got a new Tesla. Oh my God, I got this new watch. Like, when you listen to any song or any movie or whatever, the big thing is always money is this great thing that can buy you great cars and all that. It's like, come on, man. It's materialistic. That's another issue with society. It's too much of this whole, we need materialistic things to help us in our lives. And I know you see all these movies and all that. I bought all of these in 2022. In 2023, one of the lessons I've learned is materialistic things really aren't going to help you in life. Just buy what you need and buy some things you want. You know, obviously be good to yourself, treat yourself well, but don't take all of this serious. You know, and unfortunately, this little Tay kid, or I think her name was Claire. Yeah, I think it was Claire. Claire now lost her life. In the last few years of her life, what should have been a great experience as a kid, going to school, learning about life, got turned into the internet hating her, being almost a punching bag for any commentary channel at the time. And no one wants to talk about it, but that was the truth at the time. And no one wants to talk about how we just let Rice Gum bully kids, or how we let Leafy bully kids, or any other channel of its time. You know, isn't that crazy? You know, these multimillionaires who make good money on YouTube, who sell merch, and all of it was because they bullied a kid. And I'm not saying they did anything to Lil Tay, but you definitely didn't help. You definitely really didn't help, because your videos probably caused her to get bullied. That's just the reality. And I don't know, it's just so hard to talk about a kid passing away. Like, if it was an adult, even then it's sad, but like a kid, it's just 10 times sadder. Because at least with an adult, you can say they at least experienced some life, but a kid experienced no life. That should have been like your happy years. The year, because when I look back at my life, some of the best moments of my life was like 2013 when I was 11, or 2014, or whatever. Those years, those were the golden years, because I didn't have to worry about, shit. It was just live life. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. I think it's good to have these conversations. I didn't even know how to make this video, because shout out to my boy Vortex. He's the one who let me know. I thought he was pranking me, but I'm like, oh shit, what? But I think it's sad what happened. And I don't know. I feel like not enough people are gonna talk about that side, but I feel like it needs to be talked about. Like, this needs to be talked. Even though now it's less normal to make those kinds of videos bullying kids, it's still not completely over. And I think people need to talk about it more in depth than before, so that it can't happen again. You know, but that's all I gotta say. To everyone out there who focuses too much on cringe, please focus on yourself. We aren't perfect. We aren't perfect, really. You can be better every day, and that's what you should strive to do. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think, and make sure to stay sober, stay sexy, and live in the now. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.